Yeah, Close the doors, walk across the corridor. We got something to show you. Media is our repertoire. Fed up with the same news, no channel to use. Cruise control mentalities, here we offer you. We gon' show you a new way. The content, it never strays from positive and uplifting. Once a week, the scope gifted with the presence of your eyes. What a distraction, beautiful to soul, especially in action. This year not ration, came in abundance. Films like in Sundance, tech like the pop art. Got the queen, you are Curtis a beast heart. You must carry, cause MCs they all vary, and seldom do they motivate. World full of hate, we serve the hope on a plate across different platforms. Let's hear a buffet, hydration like Boucher. Don't focus on a day, we always here for you. MediaScope when you emotionally broke. Settle in our knowledge and conversations, go make them yours. What we run is Olympic, now your hands on the torch. Take it easy like Sundays on the porch. MediaScope when you emotionally broke. Settle in our knowledge and conversations, go make them yours. What we run is Olympic, now your hands on the torch. Take it easy like Sundays on the porch. Now you award winner with no award tours. This culture meets the art, podcast with the heart and essence of the growth. The power's in the people. Without you, we ain't equal. What we lack is ego. We're back now, so here we go. Run the show like Arsenio. Episodic, our rituals, minds change through visual representation of our nation and its differences. Some explanation of our uniqueness and innocence. Mass media's intention is to desensitize. We raise the wise, and knowledge is power. Without it, we turn coward and proud of a known product. Like we could take it with us. I wish the greats were still alive and here with us, but it is what it is. We're left here to share our gift, and that's precisely what we'll do with it. Shape shift and fluidly, we can pass this test and still in our unity, elevating through stress. Yes, MediaScope when you emotionally broke. Settle in our knowledge and conversations, go make them yours. What we run is Olympic, now your hands on the torch. Take it easy like Sundays on the porch. MediaScope when you emotionally broke. Settle in our knowledge and conversations, go make them yours. What we run is Olympic, now your hands on the torch. Take it easy like Sundays on the porch. Yeah, it's up to you. You got the torch now. MediaScope. We here for you, and you. We got it all. Tech, pop, music. We got it all. Tech, pop, music. We got it all. Yeah. 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 Tech, pop, music. We got it all. We got it all. We got it all. Tech, pop, music. Tech, pop, music. MediaScope. Yeah, Close the doors, walk across the corridor. We got something to show you. Media is our repertoire. Fed up with the same news, no channel to use. Cruise control mentalities, here we offer you. We gon' show you a new way. The content, it never strays from positive and uplifting. Once a week, the scope gifted with the presence of your eyes. What a distraction, beautiful to soul, especially in action. This year not ration, came in abundance. Films like in Sundance, tech like the pop art. Queen, You are Curtis, a beast heart. You must carry, cause MCs they all vary and seldom do they motivate. World full of hate, we serve the hope on a plate across different platforms. Let's hear a buffet, hydration like Boucher. Don't focus on a day, we always here for you. MediaScope when you emotionally broke. Settle in our knowledge and conversations, go make them yours. What we run is Olympic, now your hands on the torch. Take it easy like Sundays on the porch. MediaScope when you emotionally broke. Settle in our knowledge and conversations, go make them yours. What we run is Olympic, now your hands on the torch. Take it easy like Sundays on the porch. Now you award winner with no award tours. This culture meets the art. Podcast with the heart and essence of the growth. The power's in the people. Without you, we ain't equal. What we lack is ego. We're back now, so here we go. Run the show like Arsenio. Episodic, our rituals, minds change through visual. Representation of our nation and its differences. Some explanation of our uniqueness and innocence. Mass media's intention is to desensitize. We raise the wise and knowledge is power. Without it, we turn coward and proud of a known product. Like we could take it with us. I wish the greats were still alive and here with us, but it is what it is. We're left here to share our gift, and that's precisely what we'll do with it. Shape shift and fluidly, we can pass this test and still in our unity, elevating through stress. Yes, MediaScope when you emotionally broke. Settle in our knowledge and conversations, go make them yours. What we run is Olympic, now your hands on the torch. Take it easy like Sundays on the porch. MediaScope when you emotionally broke. Settle in our knowledge and conversations, go make them yours. What we run is Olympic, now your hands on the torch. Take it easy like Sundays on the porch. Yeah, it's up to you. You got the torch now. MediaScope. We're here for you, and you. We got it all. Tech, pop, music. We got it all. Tech, pop, music. We got it all. Yeah. Tech,
3,
pop,
2,
music. We got it all.
1.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the livest media, tech, and pop culture show in the land, in my opinion anyway, and hopefully you agree. This is MediaScope. We talk all about media, tech, and pop culture every Wednesday, 6 p.m.-ish Eastern time. Today it's ish. Of course, we had some tech difficulties. I'm trying to share it to Facebook, and it's not letting me share to my personal, but hopefully you guys are on the MediaScope page, and I'll find a way to share it to my personal page soon. But it's not just me. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not only I'm joined by all of you, but I'm also joined by the Joker behind the screen. His name would be MC Curtis. MC, what's up?
Hey, what's happening? Hey, everybody.
You sound real excited. You must have real great things going on. What's happening this week?
Oh, I was enjoying your introduction.
Oh, you know, it doesn't take much to make MC Curtis happy. So just a great intro and some libation. I shouldn't have said that.
Did you say what?
Nothing. I didn't say anything. That wasn't me. Anyway, moving on. Hopefully the MediaScope food truck will be here quite soon. I'm actually wearing the MediaScope food truck shirt today.
I love it. It's nice.
That's right. We've got a MediaScope food truck shirt, ladies and gentlemen, so that you can think about getting your libations and your snacks all the time. If you can't get them in person, you can. What's this now? Oh,
I said I'll drink to that.
Of course you will. Of course you'll drink to that. Don't I know you? Of course.
You do.
Before we have a special guest today. I am so excited. You don't understand. I've been fangirling all day because this individual is here. David Benjamin Eccles is here and says it's a beautiful day for Black justice. I feel so good. Absolutely. Oh, he feels so good that he is ordering 2 apple martinis and some teriyaki chicken taco from the food truck Top Shelf. Hey, he's bringing for Top Shelf. Is it only for you, David Benjamin Eccles, or is that for everyone? And Urbanist, hello, Exploring City, says he is so excited, and we are excited too. Fantastic. B. Campbell is here as well. Hello, my dear. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Sarita Will says, hello, everyone. But I don't see a truck.
Yeah. So she came to work without a uniform.
She came to work without a uniform and without the damn truck. She walked in. You don't just walk into MediaScope. I need to see a truck, Serena. Serena, where's the truck?
I could probably guess where she came from.
Oh boy, are you about to tell all her business again? Serena, that's not me. That's him trying to tell all your business. Look, I'm mad. I had to come with my own water. Usually the food truck is here and I could get it from there.
Yeah, I had to go get my own ice too.
How dare you have to get your own ice? How very dare you? Look who else is here. Cliff Sobel, a good friend of our guest and myself. Welcome, Cliff. Can't wait for you to see the show. And Lorene is here. Aloha. How are you? Which means you are in Hawaii. How are you? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here, folks. I am super excited. Look who is also here. Terry Johnson is here and says, hey, MediaScope. That's right. Tomorrow is a holiday. This is Thanksgiving Eve. Like All Hallows Eve, this is Thanksgiving Eve. So good to see you. Yay. And Terry Johnson has, because she's so excited, she has put a plethora of bacon wrapped shrimp and champagne for all to have.
Yeah, MediaScope is like the U.S. Postal Service. They
come
deliver.
Rain, come sleet, come
yes.
Oh, dear. Can we have a little bit of a couth in front of a guest? Clearly not. Serena is here. She went back home and got the food truck. And guess what, guys? It's Taco Wednesday. We don't do Taco Tuesday because we're not here on Tuesdays, but it's Taco Wednesday. And she's got nothing but libations in the chat.
I'm talking about. She came through. Thank you, Serena. We don't have to have that talk anymore.
Serena, if the show can't finish, it's because of you. It's all your fault. Fantastic. But you know what? Let's get to it because I'm super excited that we have this great guest. And I'm just going to wait until after our little break. And there's a little intro video for him. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to our guest. Ariel, hey, how are you?
Hey, how's it going, Dr. Tachi? Happy to be on the show.
Oh, so happy to have you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know this face, you better get to know this face. That means you are not a diehard YouTuber. I mean, Ariel Viera is the founder and host of Urbanist, which is a live stream show that does tours. It is also a podcast. It's a vlog. I think you also have a blog. You know what? I'm going to let you introduce yourself. I'm just fangirling too much. Go ahead, Ariel.
Well, I explore cities all around the world and cover the strange, mysterious, and quirky stories of places. Maybe food related, maybe history related, or architecture related. And I mostly do that right now through 3 platforms. YouTube and Facebook are both called Urbanists Exploring Cities. And on TikTok is just my name, Ariel Viera.
Fantastic. Wonderful. So let's talk a little bit about how you got into this. And let me tell you how I discovered you. So during the pandemic, and I've always been a YouTube watcher, and I'm just now starting to get a little more serious about YouTube. Hey, YouTube. It's just now starting to get a little more serious about YouTube. But I've always been a YouTube watcher. And during the pandemic, my sister and I discovered a whole bunch of YouTubers that do nothing but tours of different cities. Particularly, we came into contact with a lot of New York because my sister lives in New York City. And so we happened upon you, and you were in Brooklyn. This was during Christmas, and you were doing the lights. And what part of Brooklyn is that where they have all the wonderful lights? I'm trying to remember the neighborhood.
It might be Dumbo.
It wasn't Dumbo. I think it was more residential. Was it Brooklyn? I don't remember.
Oh, okay. You're talking about Diker Heights.
Diker Heights, yes, yes,
Diker,
yes.
yeah.
So I caught the Diker Heights. We were glued to that forever. We even rewatched it because it was just so wonderful and so well done. And that was really our first introduction to you, and I've been hooked ever since. Then our good friend Cliff Sobel did a panel on Clubhouse, and he said, would you be on the panel? I'm going to have Ariel, who does Urbanist. And I was like, this can't be the same impossible. It's the same Urbanist. I was so excited that I was on the stage with Ariel Viera, the Urbanist. So tell us a little bit about how did you get into doing tours of cities?
Oh, thank you so much for that wonderful intro. And I'm so glad you enjoyed that Diker Heights episode. Another one's coming soon. How I got into doing live video. So about 6 years ago, I was the social video manager for a company called Curbed, which was under Vox Media, VOX. And I was in charge of basically distributing video and also growing the community and running their Instagram. However, at that time, Facebook started paying major media companies, including Vox, to make live video. And Curb didn't have a video team in-house. So I end up volunteering and say, hey, I can both grow the audience and grow the community doing live video. And I started, my very first on-camera appearance was doing a tour across the Brooklyn Bridge with one of the editors of Curb New York. And we talked about the history of the Brooklyn Bridge. And I got hooked because at that same exact time, it was already a point in my life where I decided, F it, I just want to pursue filmmaking, because ever since the age of 5 years old, I always wanted to either be in movies and make movies. So I decided to just pursue vlogging because I was hooked on Casey Neistat. And it was so weird filming a vlog alone in the middle of a city street with a gigantic camera, because at that time the setup had to be fairly huge. And I just couldn't do it. But live video, I had to just use my phone, and I see little hearts pop up and little smiley faces and people commenting from all around the world. I felt like I could make a vlog with people, and that's how I got hooked.
Wow, that's the best feeling ever, isn't it? That the thing I like about live is that you can acknowledge people right then and there. It's not an after the fact thing. It's instantaneous. It's instantaneous gratification in a sense, I think, for you and for the audience. So fantastic. Wow. So you said you've been doing this ever, or you wanted to do this ever since you were 5. How did you happen upon that opportunity that you were working with Curbed in the first place? How did that start? For like, maybe there's somebody who wants to take the same path you did. How did you say, all right, I'm applying? How did that work? How did that happen?
So I actually have a degree in electrical engineering, and the reason I have a bachelor's in electrical engineering was because I was afraid that filmmaking would not be a safe career, that I would just go broke. This was an era just slightly before YouTube got big, where it would have been more easier to foresee a career in filmmaking. So I studied electrical engineering because I already love science, tech, and I decided, okay, let me follow the same career path as my favorite filmmaker, James Cameron, and I did decide to do that. So via that direction, I always had filmmaking in the back of my head, even though I studied different things. And then as I went to tech and then into media, I decided to always push forward in something that went more and more media-based and then more video-based. So in Curbed, basically I transitioned from running a community and growing their Facebook to spreading short videos and distributing the videos. So I just took small steps every time to get closer to video, until the moment came where I decided to quit my job at Curbed because of differences, creative differences, and I decided to pursue just full-time my own show.
So where was that point that, of course, you had creative differences, as you said, but what's the point that you said, okay, I can really do this on my own? And did you have doubts about stepping out on your own to do that? After all, you had the backup of electrical engineering. So what made you brave enough to take that step?
That's a very interesting question, because I know a lot of people that might be watching for your show might also have the same thing where they feel a little bit unsafe doing media because it's a very unpredictable field. So yes, having a background in electrical engineering did make me feel safe. But how did I feel brave enough to just do it on my own? Well, the creative difference I had with Curbed was they were all very, very nice people, but they did not want me on camera anymore, which I really disagreed with. I got really hooked on telling stories in front of the camera. To me, it felt like the most natural, best thing to do when it came to making videos. And that's why I end up feeling very confident with myself, because I knew deep down inside, I was born for this. I knew how to do this. And yeah, I was a novice at that time, only maybe being on video for about 2 months. But in some things in life, you just feel it deep down inside. And that I just decided to follow my gut. And that drove me forward. And the fact that I already knew how to get views as quick as possible in the early days of Facebook Live, I had my audience. So having an audience is basically the biggest challenge for most content creators out there. I knew how to get the audience before really making that much content. And that's what gave me the confidence.
Fantastic. Okay, well, let's talk about that for a minute before we go on. Getting the audience. How do you get an audience for live, or how did you go about getting that audience for live?
So for every platform is very different. On Facebook, it's a platform about sharing. It's a social media platform. We use the term social media for everything, but specifically Facebook is all social media. On YouTube, it's a search engine. It's SEO. On TikTok, it's an algorithm that feeds you content. And it acts very similar to like Tumblr also. But so since on Facebook, I can share stuff. How I got the audience was collaborating with pages way larger than I was at that time to share my live videos while they were live. So I was accessing their audience while I was live and basically getting it for my own audience. That's the thing with getting live audience. You have to figure out what's the best way on each platform. On YouTube, I started about 2 years ago, a little bit less than 2 years ago, in 2020. In July. The reason I got the audience was because I use good SEO. So New York City Live is good enough SEO. That's how you were able to find me. Maybe you were able to find me also because you were searching Christmas lights or Diker Heights, which a lot of people are also searching for. So the key to YouTube is always using good SEO titles. And if you happen to be in a city as big as New York, it really does work in your favor. And then TikTok is a bit different. TikTok, you have to TikTok. Anyone can really blow up on live even without having a big audience. It's a bit of a unique platform.
Interesting. What do you like better? Obviously, you've cultivated this audience this live audience on YouTube. I don't know if it was Facebook or YouTube first, but YouTube has like really taken off for you. So out of the platforms, is there one that you gravitate toward more that is your default?
Yeah, so I mean, I love all the platforms individually. YouTube is where I put the most amount of work into right now, is because there I can get my audience live a lot quicker than Facebook. Facebook is no longer already for the past like 4 years has not really cared too much about live video. So yeah, YouTube is where I get most of my audience, and YouTube is where people who don't already know my page can easily find me. And I also make the most amount of money from YouTube.
Hey, that's
because,
important.
Hint, hint, everyone. Content creators can't do this for free. We need to be paid. So YouTube, I get people who watch replays, and I get ad revenue from it. So YouTube is where I put the focus. But the interesting thing is I can multi-stream to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch all at the same time. I don't mention Twitch too much because it grows at a snail's pace.
Yeah.
It's a very hard platform to grow. But unless if you're a very good-looking woman and use a high camera angle, then in that case, Twitch is a lot easier. But
wait, let me write that down. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
So I would say YouTube/Facebook is where I broadcast, and I tell these long stories that are 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours long. On TikTok, I take those stories I tell on live video and perfect them on live video, because I'm telling a story that would take me 10 minutes. I now know what the story is about, say, a landmark building or some type of awesome sandwich or a museum. And I'm able to condense that into 3 minutes or less for that TikTok video. And that's how I use those platforms. Kind of, it's an assembly line of sorts.
So you basically start with YouTube. YouTube is your long form, and that's where it starts. And then you start to chop these. Now, do you reshoot, or do you just take a segment of the YouTube video and repurpose that for TikTok and the other platforms?
I am not so keen on repurposing. I know it works for a lot of people. For me, I prefer to shoot natively for TikTok.
Okay.
Because TikTok is inherently a vertical format, and live, I like live videos that are horizontal, because horizontal, you can show more of the space.
Right. Because
I'm all about showing places, so you can see more of the space.
Absolutely.
So since TikTok is vertical, I need to shoot for vertical. And also telling the story, I tend to shoot it. I try to tell the story in one single take, 3 minutes or less, so I can make it feel very punchy and no script, no notes. I just kind of try to tell it as if it were a spontaneous adventure with a friend. And then I edit it and add extra assets like images and music and cool cuts and things like that.
And I've watched obviously I watch your YouTubes all the time, because you're on Wednesdays and Saturdays, correct? For the most part.
At 1 p.m. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then I watch your TikToks, and you do exactly what you said. And it feels, the reason I like the way you do it is it feels like you created this just for the people on that platform. So even if people do cross-platform and watch you on each different platform, you get one thing here on YouTube, but then you go to TikTok, you get something else. You go to Facebook, you get something else. So I like that, and it feels genuine, and it doesn't feel like you're just repurposing and taking a TikTok and putting it all over the place, which is okay, because it does work for some people. But for what you do, I think it's fabulous. I'm just so in love with your work. So let's keep going in terms of, but before we keep going, let's recognize some of the massive in the audience, shall we? So Sylvia says, hi, Ariel.
Hey, Sylvia.
Hi, Sylvia. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming into the MediaScope fold. For folks, if you are just joining us, this is Ariel Viera. He is the Urbanist. He is the founder and host and creator and everything that you want to call him of Urbanist, which is a vlog, which is a podcast, which is all things travel and walking around cities and exploring cities, because it's actually Urbanist Exploring Cities. I had the pleasure of meeting him a few months ago, and he has graciously agreed to grace us with his presence today. So thank you once again for being here, Ariel. Maureen is here and says, good evening, Ariel from Miami. Hey, how are you? Well, you're my neighbor, because I am in the Miami, Fort Lauderdale area. So hello there. Susie Palau is here. And well, she wondered about what you were talking about, so I'm glad that you were there. But hey, Susie, thank you so much for being here. One of your mods is here. Ronald is here. Hey, Ronald, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Also, Kay Morrow is here. Hey, Kay, welcome. D Works is here. If the work won't come to D, D will go to work. Welcome, D. Good to see you. We have a bunch of people here. And of course, we have our good friend Cliff is here. Hey, Cliff, welcome. He was talking about Diker Heights as well. Joan, hello, Soror. Balcom is here. Thank you. She says, good evening. And folks, if you have any questions or comments for Ariel, please put them in the chat. We will put them on. And okay, I was about to ask about a food special. We need an Urbanist food special as well. So make sure you make one up, Serena. So we've got a food special here. Buy a turkey plate, get one half off. Curtis, that is not for you. You get one. We've put your plate to the side already with tinfoil. Let everybody else get theirs first, huh? So, because Curtis will take it all. So, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Welcome, welcome. Once again, my name is Tachi. I'm a media professor, filmmaker, media content producer, also a journalist. You are watching MediaScope. We are here every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time on all the different platforms. And let me say hey to all the platforms. Hello to everybody watching on Facebook Live. If you are watching us on YouTube, hey, welcome. If you are watching on, well, you're not watching on LinkedIn. LinkedIn had an issue today, but we are live on Twitter. So if you're watching on Twitter, welcome to everybody watching on Twitter. If you are listening on WJMSradio.com, hello. And Curtis is backstage, but he'd be happy to hear me say, and if you are listening tomorrow on Gospel 107.1 FM, blessings, bless you. That's his favorite time of day whenever I say that for some reason. So let's get back to it. We are here with the urbanist himself, Ariel Viera. So let's get back to asking him some questions. Yes, he is from YouTube, and he is the founder and creator of Urbanist. Okay, why exploring cities? From everything you've said, electrical engineering, filmmaking, nothing about that says historical tour guide with the most, because I'm amazed every time I watch you at the amount of information you have about different landmarks around New York City. Where did that come from? Why exploring cities?
I'll be brief because I could talk about this a very long time, but
that's okay. We got time. Go ahead.
when ever since I was like between the ages of like 5 years old all the way until my teens, I was hooked on playing video games about building cities like SimCity. I was hooked on Railroad Tycoon. And often for example, my dad would look at me playing late into the night, building railroad networks on Railroad Tycoon. It'd be like, what are you doing? Why are you find that fun? Because he found it so puzzling. But I really loved it. And I used to have Legos and Lincoln Logs, and I would build huge cities with these materials and have fun with them. So I, for some reason, something deeply innate within me, I really love cities and building. But beyond that, just shortly before doing Facebook Live on Curbed, and then later Urbanist, I would find myself walking around the cities, New York City specifically, and kind of just wandering around. And I love doing that. And I would have a few friends that I would sometimes walk around with and kind of just wander, but they usually would get tired after like an hour or two. And I would have a tough time trying to find friends who would want to join me for a walk for like 4 hours. I'm not sure. It's crazy. How is that possible? But right.
Yeah, no, everybody wants to walk for 3 hours.
Right. No, but so yeah, when I figured out, wait a minute, I can do this on live video and still make a video and walk around and talk about the history I really love, because I just have a personal interest in history that it was this perfect combination. It combined all my three main passions, which is filmmaking, storytelling, and cities/history.
Are you a native New Yorker?
I am a native New Yorker. Yeah, I was raised over here. And then the thing is, I think in terms of content-wise, the reason I think it's compelling is New York is a playground. Many cities are similar to this, especially European cities and some cities in the U.S., where you can just walk around and kind of just bump into interesting things to do. Beyond the history, I can make you a set tour, but I've always been more interested in kind of just being more spontaneous. So I can easily walk around and just bump into a coffee shop or to a bakery or meet some random person in the neighborhood who tells me a cool story. And that inherently is perfect for live video. It's something that it's really hard to replicate on a TV show or on a YouTube vlog
Absolutely.
because you don't get that liveness. And of course, there's the risk of it being boring, where I can walk through a very suburban area and kind of just have nothing to do. But that's part of the excitement. But what happens if something happens? And I think that's why I would gravitate to that being the best type of content for live.
I think it's also your personality. So I think that, not many people can be on live for hours and hours and still have people hanging on. And it really is very compelling. You are among the very compelling YouTubers that do walking tours of New York City. So I think it's also your personality, that keeps people with you, because everybody loves your live streams. And I think there's something about your passion for the history too, because if you were just telling us the history, it may not be but you're living the history. I'm picturing you actually jumping off of the pages of a history book, jumping out. There was one that you did recently about in New York, the facade. I don't know if it's Brooklyn or if it's Manhattan, but the facade buildings that were ventilation systems for the yeah.
Brooklyn Heights.
In Brooklyn Heights. So it is Brooklyn. So do you mind telling us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so in Brooklyn Heights, there is a Greek Revival townhouse that has oddly blacked out windows and very heavy looking metal door. And no one comes in and out except for some random workers in yellow jackets. And that's because it's actually a Greek Revival style subway ventilator in the middle of one of the most beautiful neighborhoods in all of New York City, Brooklyn Heights. So yeah, that is a really cool little secret. I think it's those tiny secrets, those stories that can easily be told in a boring way. Actually, most people might not know how to tell that story in an interesting way. I like that challenge because it's a good opportunity to make something that could be considered mundane into something very interesting and fascinating and wondrous. I think the best storytellers throughout history are able to do that. And yeah, I think that's the key to having a good, fun video. I think to touch your point about talking, live video is a conversation. Well, it can be a conversation. I think generally it does work best as a conversation, or at least in the conversational tone, like we're doing right now. So
right.
I've always been, ever since I was also very young, especially in my early 20s, I was always hell-bent on kind of being the best conversationalist. I've always wanted to be a person who could just be a great dinner party guest. So that translates really well to live videos, having good conversations and able to talk about multiple threads of conversations. And the key to a great conversationalist is not the ability to talk about everything, but to talk about everything and make it feel like something, and tying all those threads together towards the end, where you feel like you've gone through this epic experience and learned about a wide variety of things, and time flew by and you didn't realize.
And that's exactly the experience we have when we watch his live streams. Time flies, and it's like, well, this is where it ends. I'm like, already? And it's been like 3 hours. So that's just a testament to your storytelling skills. So kudos. We're gonna keep taking some comments and questions.
Oh, yeah.
I know Cliff had a question. So Catherine says, hello from snowy Nova Scotia. Hello, Ariel. Good to see you. Excited to watch this tonight. We're excited to have you here. Susan Engels says hello to you both. Well,
Hey.
Hello, Susan. How are you? Welcome. Ellen Carroll says greetings from Ireland. Now, you were just in Ireland. Is this one of the people that you met on your Irish excursion, or it just happens to be a coincidence?
I'm glad you said hi to a lot of my viewers, because a lot of those are my hardcore urbanists that tune in a lot.
Yes, I recognize the names. Yeah.
Yeah, so I spent a month in Ireland, and Ireland was the first place because on Urbanist, for people who don't know, I'm based in New York, so I cover a lot of New York City. But beyond that, I do excursions. So I spend a few weeks up to a few months in different cities around the world. And so far, I've done about 25 cities or so. And I decided to do Ireland for an entire month and go to the various cities throughout there. But Ireland was the first place where I decided to meet a lot of my viewers, because I've been doing this for 60 years, and some of my most hardcore viewers are Irish. And Ireland also happens to be a country with great hospitality. So yeah, I end up doing a few live videos with Irish viewers, hardcore urbanists, and having them on my live videos. I was hosted by one hardcore urbanist by the name of Kay, who's tuning in right now.
Yes.
And she hosted me in the city called Kilkenny. And it was really cool because I'm so used to just mostly sticking to the history and kind of walking around the city. But this was the first time I decided to go live in someone's home and do a dinner live. So she cooked some amazing Irish dinner, and we had a great conversation about Irish food at her home, all on live video. And I think in Ireland specifically, that was a great way to show an aspect of travel, because other YouTubers do this really well, like Bald and Bankrupt. Peter Stantonello is another one. They're very good at showing that side of travel, which is not going to the restaurant, but going to someone's house. And that was the first time I did that. And it was really effective in terms of content. It's really engaging to meet a local and kind of spend time at their dinner table virtually. It makes you feel like you're there.
It does. And I think that's really the way to travel. I think too often people, I shouldn't say too often, but sometimes when people travel or they go away, they get caught up in the tourist traps and they don't actually get to experience the people, the culture, the food from a local perspective. So, often sometimes when you go to these places, the really popular places are catered for touristy tastes. So I'm so glad that you showed going to Kay's house, having the dinner there. That made it really authentic. So, and it is cool to go to some of the other places as well, but getting that authentic Irish experience, I think, is key. So that was awesome. Go ahead.
Yeah, but because every country is different. I think that's the beauty about travel, is that every country has one thing that's really known for. In Greece, it was really going to see the ruins. In Italy, it was really cool going to trattorias, the restaurants, and going to the beautiful landmarks. And of course, Paris is awesome seeing the museums. But in Ireland, it was a type of country where it's known for that hospitality. So it was awesome meeting the people. So each country has its different aspects, but I think you're right. It's a different way of capturing the essence of a country. I think that's the key to a good travel show, is capturing the essence of a place, especially in the way that interests you as a host. In my case, I cover things that interest me, but through that, I'm able to capture its essence. At least from my point of view, I'm able to capture its essence and show it to the world.
Absolutely. So Cliff Sobel asks, since you've been to more countries than many people have, what is your favorite place to travel?
Yeah, so for context, for people who haven't seen my show, I have mostly just been in North America and Europe thus far, well, mostly Western Europe. So where I've really loved to travel, I love big cities, so my heart will always be with like London, Rome, and Paris. Those places are just so easy to explore, and there's so much content there to be made. But I ended up falling in love with Ireland. Ireland just had it was the warmest, friendliest country I've ever been to. And the people there made me feel really, really accepted and really eager to know who I am and eager to share a good laugh. And it was so interesting because one of the biggest challenges of solo travel is how easy it could be to feel lonely. I'm traveling for work, so luckily I don't really get into that state too often, but I know that it's very easy to feel that way. So in Ireland, it's a country that's almost impossible to feel lonely because people are just so friendly there. So it was, yeah, I would love to go back.
Wow.
And I felt like if I was there for a month or more, about a month more, I easily would have gone viral and been on national television because I was gaining a lot of audience on specifically on TikTok. I was gaining
wow.
I gained like 50,000 Irish followers, and Ireland is it's a fairly small country. So I was sort of starting to be known in Ireland. People were approaching me on the street saying hello.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, what was that from? Was that from maybe your Irish viewers telling other people, or were they seeing you and wondering what you were doing? How did you amass 50,000 extra followers?
So this is the secret to TikTok. Do you want to know?
We want to know. We're waiting.
So TikTok is a very interesting platform because TikTok shows your videos first and foremost to the people local to that area. And then it expands outward, judging by how popular the video is. So TikTok even puts more weight on the local area than even your own followers. So cool thing about TikTok, as a content creator doing about quirky stories about cities, is that when I made a video about Dublin and posted it on TikTok when I was at Dublin, it would show that video first to Dubliners. And that was a very easy way to get an audience because I'm one of the few people doing this type of travel content, which is kind of quirky stories about history. So TikTok finds my audience for me because it shows it first to the people local to that area. As a travel content creator in my style, where I'm not making the top 5 tips to visit Dublin as a tourist, I'm not doing that really. I'm doing like, what is this weird landmark with bullet holes on it?
Oh, wow.
That type of content is as interesting to a tourist as it is to the locals. So on TikTok, I have the benefit of attracting both. So each new city I went to Kilkenny. And when I went to Kilkenny, it's a fairly small city in Ireland. And when I posted the videos about Kilkenny in Kilkenny, TikTok showed my videos first to Kilkennians, which is crazy. YouTube does not do that. Facebook does not do that. And that was really, really fascinating. I'm about to run out of battery on my camera. Let me hook it up. Quick.
No worries, folks. Meantime, as he's hooking up his camera with battery, welcome to the fold, everyone. My name is Tachi. I'm a media professor, filmmaker, media content producer. I'm also a journalist. You are watching MediaScope. We usually talk all about media tech and pop culture, and Ariel fits right in with it because he is a media maker, right? He's the king of all media, I'd like to say. And we do this every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern time on all the places you're watching now. And we enjoy doing this. It's not just me. I'm joined by MC Curtis, who is backstage, and he usually says, hey, everybody, in a really excited voice. Not really, but he's backstage, so you won't hear his voice today. But we're all happy to have you. So let me say some hellos to some people. Here we go. Ellen Carroll, we again, greetings from Ireland. Hello again. Nicole says, greetings from the Netherlands. I'm loving that we have some people from the Netherlands here. Hello, welcome. Also, Anthony is here and he has a question. I'll put it back up when he's back, Anthony. Also, let's see. Clifford has a question as well. We'll put that up. Let's see. Are we missing anyone? Serena has a food truck special. New York special, buy a slice of pizza, get one half off. Half off of the pizza itself or the price? Let us know, Serena. Anyway, and I think I'm going to butcher your name. Is it Panagiotis? I hope I'm saying it properly. I probably am not, and I apologize, but we are so happy to have you here. So, let's see. Hey, welcome back. Miss Dramatica says, Ariel is my favorite live streamer. He's genuine and kind-hearted. I agree. La Chula 22 says, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving Eve. I hope thank you for disrupting all of your Thanksgiving plans to watch us here. We thrive off of disruption, so we're very happy that you are disrupting your Thanksgiving plans. So La Chula 22 has a question for you. Ariel wants to know where in the world we're going next. So, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Where in the world is Ariel Viera going to be? Unmute yourself. There you go.
Can you hear me now? Yeah, okay, cool.
Yes, we can. Yes.
Good. I'm not sure where I'm going next. What I can tell you is the cities I really want to cover is Paris, because Paris, especially for short TikTok videos, would be just perfect place. There's so many cool stories there. I also want to cover Amsterdam because I'm really into urbanism, and Amsterdam has great urban planning, and I'm so curious to show Amsterdam. And then beyond that, I also want to cover England and Scotland. Oh, I can't wait to go, especially Scotland. Scotland is associated with so many kind of stories and legends, and so many films are filmed up there. So I can't wait to go to Scotland. So all those places.
Fantastic. And we can't wait to go with you because we know you are taking us with you via live stream. So we can't wait. Sylvia says, my favorite live stream from this summer was the boat ride in Italy.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that as well. Of your travels this summer, what was your favorite moment, or your travels up to this point from this year? What was your favorite moment?
So there's a lot of them, but Sylvia mentions that specific one, which was really interesting. So I went to cover a small island that is called Burano in Venice, which is about a 15-minute ferry ride from the main area of Venice. So I started on the ferry, went to Burano, and then I went to another island, and then that other island was nearby. And then later on, one of my viewers said,
I think we lost Ariel. Something happened where we lost him, but he'll be back. He's back. Here we go. There you go. You there, Ariel?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, not best camera. I gotta switch a camera for doing these live streams. But
no worries.
So I went to so I went to this other island, and then she told me to go to a few viewers told me to go to this very small island. It was already getting dark. The sun was already setting. This gorgeous tiny little island where basically all the rich people of Venice hang out, or the celebrities. And I go there and walk around, but there's not much to do. So I am stuck because I can wait for the ferry, and the ferry is going to take a while. A viewer of mine called a water taxi to pick me up right in that little island and take me all the way back to the Grand Canal of Venice, which is the main area. And I end up taking this water taxi during a Venetian sunset, all on live video that was already going to beyond 6 hours. And I'm riding on the Venetian sunset on a super fast water taxi, just like if I were James Bond. Because James Bond actually had that in the film Casino Royale. And I go through the Grand Canal right as it descends into night, and the entire city goes into twinkling lights, and I finish off at the Piazza San Marco having a cocktail, Negroni. and boom, that was the end of the live video after like 6 hours or so.
Wow.
So that in itself felt like a full adventure throughout all of Venice.
Do you feel like you would have the same level of adventures if you were not going live? Would it have the same feeling if you were not going live?
So do I want to do that? Not necessarily. I like the liveness. I like being joined by people. The reason TikTok works is because there's only 3 minutes or less. I don't need to make a long vlog. Vlogs, generally, you have to tell the story via editing, and a lot of travel vloggers do that. They use the edit to tell the story, so they have drone footage, they have cool music, they have cool cuts, and they build a story like a Casey Neistat builds a story via the edit. Someone like Bold and Bankrupt, the reason he's very good in YouTube vlogs, travel style, is because he's not a fancy editor. He barely does any editing, but he goes on these insane adventures that you can't really live stream. You can't really live stream going into cartel territory in Bolivia.
Oh yeah, no.
You can't do that. There's gonna be no reception, and also it could be highly, highly dangerous.
Absolutely.
But that's what makes his vlogs that are bare bones in terms of editing compelling. I don't like doing that. I don't like to go into super dangerous, super exotic places like some bare bones travel vloggers that are very good. Nor do I like spending too much time hunched over on my laptop editing for hours on end, trying to get the perfect combination of shots together. While I am competent at doing that, and I do offer that as a freelancer, I don't like doing it personally. So I like live. Live, I think the best way to have those adventures is live, because only on live I could have had a viewer call up a water taxi for me.
Yeah. You would have just been stuck.
You would
have just been out, just there, stuck.
Right.
I think, the interesting thing about live stream is because they actually do become like friends and family. You form this community and this massive, which I think is so cool about live streaming. So yeah, lucky for you. So I understand. You keep the live. I think that's the thing to do.
Yes, exactly. It's live. You're always there with someone, so you can always get good recommendations on where to eat. You can someone could call you a water taxi. There's more adventure to be had that's communal rather than one guy telling you going on the adventure. Bold and Bankrupt, you're watching at Bold and Bankrupt having the adventure. And I say that with the highest amount of respect because he's my favorite YouTuber in terms of adventure vlogger. But in my show, you are part of the adventure. You're there with me, or there virtually, but we're interacting together. Which is a good point in terms of live video. Is the bigger the audience, the show will inherently change. And so bigger is not always better in live video is now what I'm learning. Because in TikTok, I don't mind having nearly 500,000 followers because it's a recorded video I post live. I post it and that's it. People comment. But on live video, there comes a point, because I've had a few live streams go into like 3,000 concurrent viewers, where you can't read the comments anymore. It's not really that easy. Right. And then once you start going into like famous game streamer territory, or the streamers from like East Asia that have in the tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people tuning in at the same time, it's impossible. You can't read the comments at all. So inherently the content will change a bit, especially in terms of audience interaction. So keep that in mind for anyone who watches who's interested in live video. Remember, a bigger audience is both a blessing and a curse.
Yeah. Absolutely.
For example, think of it as in terms of theatrical plays. It might be awesome performing this beautiful melodramatic play that you might see in off Broadway. But imagine trying to perform that melodramatic play with a Super Bowl style audience. It wouldn't really work. It's hard. It would be very
Yeah.
different.
Yeah,
So
it's a different
that's the
experience.
interesting thing. That's the interesting thing about live audience is the audience size also does matter.
Absolutely. But I would think that, especially for the viewers that have followed you for a while, that as it does get bigger, they do understand and they know, okay, it's impossible for you to see all the comments. And, every once in a while, you throw out things that you throw out, oh, hey, yes, we see you, to let them know that they're seen. But I would like to think and hope that they understand that you still are seeing them and you still do feel their presence. It's just too hard for you to read all the comments at the same time. So
Yeah. There's I'm training myself to read names I don't recognize.
mm,
Uh, because it's very easy once you get into the groove of things to kind of just say hi to the people you already know,
right.
which is awesome. It's awesome to get to know people, but to be a good host, just like being a good host at a party, you can't let the new people feel left out. So I do my best
Exactly.
to always ask people who are new to say hi. I always ask more general questions, and then I also try to go live at off hours to potentially get
Mm,
other people tuning in who I usually won't see when I'm doing my regularly scheduled live video. Yeah.
right. Right. Wow. Well, we are getting ready to wrap it up because you've been so generous with your time, and I don't want to take too much more of your time. But I do want to ask a few. Let's take a few more comments. Andrew says, "Good day from Australia. Great show so far, Dr. Oh, and virtual hug to you. I forgot to give what I usually do is when I come on, I give everybody the virtual hug to let you guys know that I appreciate you being, you could be any place else, but you are here with us. So thank you so much for that. Thank you so very much. And JD says, this has been an excellent interview. Ariel is great in keeping it real as well as interesting and fun, both in this interview and in his live streams. I agree. I 100% agree. And Maureen says, absolutely fabulous. He is absolutely fabulous. So, Ariel, I have one question to ask as we wrap it up. So we're talking about what's next. Somebody asked, where are you going now? I think it was Maureen, I think, that asked, no, it wasn't Maureen, but somebody asked, where are you going next? What is next for Urbanist? I'm of the belief that YouTube is a great and it's a big platform. So sometimes people are always pushing to, oh, you should be on TV. Whereas I feel that these platforms are valuable in and of itself. But do you have aspirations for those types of things? Are you looking to get a show on network television, streaming, over the top TV? Is that something that you're looking to do?
Yes, I want to bring my style storytelling to a high production television show. It could be on Netflix, it could be on Amazon, History, Discovery. Those are the four places I would do it in, top choice. So the reason I want to do that is because I do recognize that the storytelling format will be different, but I'm a filmmaker at heart. So I very much use film language, even in my own live streams. It's just I'm not using the edit. I'm using the motion. I'm using
Yeah.
camera angles and camera movement. But I would love the ability to play with a bigger set of tools, namely the edit and a high production. Because a high production, I could do cool stuff. I'll
Yeah.
give you one illustration of what I can do hosting a television show, being in front of the camera and potentially being behind the camera as well. For example, I can do a show where I cover the Great Pyramids of Giza, which is not really doable on live stream yet because probably not great service there, cell phone reception. But I just envision a episode where it starts with a drone footage going very far away from Cairo. And you can see the city of Cairo because the Great Pyramids are actually within distance of the city. And the drone swoops in and you hear my intro. And I'm actually recording this on site, standing at the Great Pyramid in the entrance of the Great Chamber. And the drone goes and goes and goes and goes as I'm giving the intro to this Great Pyramid and the scene. And it goes to me and I'm like waving to the drone and the drone comes up to me and I kind of light up a torch, which is, it sounds very kind of Indiana Jonesy, but, or it could be a flashlight, but I light up the torch and go into the Great Chamber and the drone actually follows me in. But of course, since it's dark, it'll be underexposed. So that's a great point to do a secret edit where it goes into a cameraman following me through. But the reason I would do something like that, transition from a drone footage into a cameraman following me, is because it immerses you in a whole different way. First, I use the film techniques to hide the edit, so it feels like it's all one continuous cut. Think of a movie like Birdman, Children of Men. Yeah.
Yes.
Something like that. But at the same time, you see a perspective that really isn't that doable live video, nor doable really effectively in a short TikTok, but it's doable with a high production, a massive drone shot, transitioning to a cameraman, and then also getting great lighting within the place as dark as like the Great Chamber of the Pyramid of Giza. That type of storytelling I would love to do. But the thing is, most TV shows already know how they film it, so they already have a specific style. Just watch any show with Josh Gates, who's an excellent travel show host. But if you notice, all of his shows feel and look the same. They already found their format. But I think there's an opportunity to bring things that I learned in live video, like I just described now, that I've learned in cinema as a filmmaker, and bring it to high-end TV production.
Yes. See, you're my twin. Because I was feeling you as you, because, you know, I'm also a filmmaker. So as you're talking, I'm yes. And then I was right there with you as you were saying this. There is a particular perspective that those of us that do live video have that can bring so much to traditional linear television. So it's already happening because we already, where's that comment? Miss Dramatica says, Ariel for Travel Channel, that should be the hashtag. Make it happen. Okay.
That'd be great.
Definitely. You're such a special person. His fans are super loyal. Absolutely. Ronald can't wait to see you on Al Jazeera. Definitely. And Ronald paid me a compliment. He said, I'm cooler than he thought. Don't let the doctor fool you. That's formality. This is me. The doctor is just for, I don't even know why they gave me one, but you know, I have it. So that's what matters. Susan says this has been super fun, and it's been super fun having you here. Thank you so much to and Andrew says that a pitch to Netflix is needed. Set up a meeting. We need to make that happen. And Serena Wills, our queen of food truckery and also the minister of libation for the food truck, says, wow, I'm waiting on that show on Egypt. I can envision everything as you are talking. Dr. G. Hightower is here. Blessings to you too, sir. So good to have you. I'd love to see you travel throughout the continent of Africa as well. I would love to see that. That would... your particular style of storytelling would do so much to bringing the wonderful things that the continent has to offer. Of course, you know, I'm African, so I'm always like, come to Africa. And it could be anywhere, East Africa, North Africa, South, West. I'd love to see you do Africa. That's my pitch for you.
Well, I do too, because being Puerto Rican, I have a lot of descendants from the Yoruba tribe.
Yoruba, exactly,
yeah,
right.
Yoruba,
so you have African roots. Yeah.
And I would love to explore that for personal reasons. But beyond that, that's something that I think a TV show budget would be great because, for example, there's like the Mali Empire, which is one of the greatest empires that have ever lived. It's something that to go there live in person, and then also to kind of show a CGI version of what Mali used to look like back in the day. Things like that, yeah, I think would be really interesting. So yeah, I would love to do shows all around Africa, and also Nigerian, Lagos, and Afrobeat. Oh my God, to like do a live show with like Sean Kuti, who's one of the sons, or Femi Kuti, one of the sons.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh
and
God.
Actually, Femi Kuti, he just was nominated for Grammys for his work.
Cool.
Just the Grammy nominations just came out, and Femi Kuti is nominated. So that would be exploring through music would be absolutely amazing. I'm also a dancer, and whenever I go someplace new, I take a dance class. So I explore through dance. So the music dance thing, that would be really, really good. You are even more awesome than I knew. I knew you were awesome, but not this awesome. Wow. Is there anything else you want to leave us with before we let you go?
Well, back at you. This is an awesome interview. I love your line of questioning, and you're so good at interviewing. It's amazing.
Well, my mother would have wasted her money on school if I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So thank you for that.
And yeah, if people want to see more of my show, I'm Ariel Viera. That's my name on TikTok. And then on YouTube, you can find me at Urbanist Exploring Cities. And I'm there regularly scheduled. You'll see the schedule at each new city I'm in.
Fantastic. Oh, Dr. Hightower said his family is from Togo. So you've got to do Togo. Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful. Ariel, you are such a joy, and it has been such a pleasure to have you here. I'm just, again, honored to have you. And you know what? Please promise me that you will come back.
I would love to. Yeah, definitely. This was a very, very fun time.
Oh, yeah. No, we'd like to have fun here on MediaScope, and we definitely want you back. So thank you so much, Ariel. Thank you, everybody who watched in the audience, everybody who's joining. There's no such thing as late on MediaScope. So whenever you're joining, you're early. Thank you so very much. Hey, MC, come on screen if you can. Hey, MC.
Hey, what's going on?
You sound great. Did you enjoy yourself at least?
Yeah, it's a great show. Good information. Enjoyed it. Absolutely.
You said good. Fantastic.
You know I was laughing in the background when you
I know you were laughing in the background. I'm like, probably it's best that you are off camera. But thank you so much, Ariel. Thank you, tech team, aka MC Curtis, for all of your help with this. And we're going to sign off. So love you for watching. Bid you adieu. You guys, bring Ariel back on, MC. Or all of y'all come on. You guys, Ariel, myself, MC Curtis, and all of his fabulous stories, we're all going to exit stage left. I will see you all next week, and I hope to have you all back next week soon. Even Ariel's folks, you are now part of the MediaScope Massive. Cheers, guys.
Bye-bye.
I hide.
Yeah, Close the doors, walk across the corridor. We got something to show you. Media is our repertoire. Fed up with the same news, no channel to use. Cruise control mentalities, here we offer you. We gon' show you a new